Morning, Art. Or should I say morning, Daryl? Sorry. It's one. What the hell is it again? 1:58 in the morning, West Coast time. It's 17 January 2024. You really pulled this one out of here, didn't you? Going after someone who's been fired from her job because of social media and videos these days. It really becomes quite a scene that we throw it on social media so we can see someone else going through hell in a handbasket. But the camera only tells you one side of the story, but there's usually a major one behind it. And you're not seeing it. Okay, you're seeing it from here, and you have to ask yourself why. Not why she couldn't get her phone, why she got fired, and besides the shots, what was beyond the shots? I'm wondering, Daryl, if you ever worked retail hell before. I had. I had. I worked customer service most of my life. General office, retail schlub work, call care center insanity, and damn near get killed in retail hell again. But yeah, I've been through it. I've seen a lot of it. It happens. It's even happened to me, and I got terminated for it. And yeah, back in the 80s, we didn't have any cell phones. If we did, it would have been a hell of a lot different. But we didn't. I got terminated over the phone by the manager. 19-year-old snot-nosed kid who didn't know his asthma hot rock, listening to an 18-year-old manager who'd been there a lot longer than I had, about a year. And she's going to tell me how to do my job? I'm doing it the way they told me to do it. How dare you? You're going to argue with me on how to do my job that you just trained me to do, and now you're thinking I'm doing it rotten and trying to embarrass me in front of a customer? How dare you? There's context on this one here, Daryl. You got to see the context. You got to see the context on this one. I got hired by Baskin and Robbins a long time ago, and for about a month I worked in this place. It's supposed to be a fun job. A lot of customers want their ice cream. Okay, and during the summer, get a little heated, but that's okay. That's what happens. Needed a job for college. While I was going to college, I was working different jobs just to pay for the rent, not to mention to pay for my own upkeep. So here I am in the Neapolitan shirt and the beige pants, and I'm ready for whatever happens. Customer comes in and they want a scoop of ice cream. Now, keep this in mind: the scoops that they have, round ball for the ice cream, round balls. Over at Thrifties, they have the circular, doesn't turn into a ball, but it's those circular things that you plop right into the cake cones. And they had the cake cones over at Baskin Robbins. But they're training me on how to measure each scoop at a precise weight. Get a piece of parchment, put it on a weight scale, you scoop it out. If it's roughly equivalent, plop it in a cone. Some managers, well, actually, one or two managers were like that. And our shift leaders, nah, they're all right. So, and not that much cameras in there anyway. However, this one manager was on my case. I was starting to get an attitude like I know what the hell I'm doing because I've been here about a month and nobody else is complaining. So what the hell's going on? I already had an attitude already. I didn't have an attitude of gratitude. I'm a kid. I'm a young adult. I think I should know better what the hell's going on. Yeah, but I never did learn my lesson, dude. Right in front of a customer, we're arguing over the weight of a ball of ice cream. It was near the end of the shift and I was leaving for home anyway. Screw it. It's only a part-time job, about 4 hours anyway, but still the longest 4 hours you'd ever have, right? We were the only two people in the shop. She was shorter, but she was more experienced in the shop than I was. A year, even though she was a year younger than I am. You're not catching it? You're not getting, okay, okay. Just because I'm older doesn't mean I'm more seasoned and experienced about things. Especially if you have somebody who's been in the damn business a lot longer than I had. I'm a newbie. What the hell do I know? But that night, ding, ling, 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 ling. Yeah, this is such and such. I'm afraid we're going to have to terminate you at this point over here. Uh, we'll mail you your check. But thank you for working with us. Click. All that's for a lousy ball of ice cream. And all I'm doing is yelling at that manager because of this damn thing in front of a customer. You're telling me how to do my job? Unless you've been through it, you don't know what some of these employees are going through. It gets worse. Prior to that, prior to that, I was working with my ma when she was working at a letter making company called West On Letters. Oh, there's a video or two buried in my archives on this one here. The owner was a guy named Bert Weston, World War II veteran. Came back home, make a career making lettering for a lot of places left and right, and made a good business for himself too. Small shop, used to be a World War II munitions place, but redesigned, redecorated inside to do letter making handling, making letters for being installed in different places or being shown for other places. Little plastic lettering up to fully customized. Had an artistic team of one or two people. You had your administrators. You had your manufacturing in the back. You had your production. Ma was accounting. She worked with management. And here comes this nut-nosed kid who's hanging around Ma. But I'm there to work. General office schlub, learn a bit place. Why not? I need to earn the money. They needed the extra hands, so why not? I had to learn what the letters are all about. What the letter, the shapes and everything else about it. So I'm learning the company a little bit. It doesn't mean I'm going to be permanently attached over there, but I'm just a help. So now here comes the thing that makes me terminated under one aspect of it, and I get rehired under another aspect of it. Ma's getting buried with her paperwork. She's accountant controller. She's got to keep up with the books and this stuff. So she's struggling as best she can. But then she sees her son arguing with the owner of the company concerning about excess dust and sawdust on top of the roof of their little production area. I thought it was dangerous. Why is he endangering my life? Why not his? Only that he's about 60s, 70s, and he's the owner of the company. Older than I am, but I'm going to argue about this shit. Me a snot-nosed 18 or 19-year-old brat. Like I know better. My brother was with me, too. 8 years older. A lot more experienced in things. And he was willing to go the distance of working his ass off. And he did. I got fired. I got tossed out of my ass on the back. And I hide out in the car all day, I guess. There are a lot of factors in this one here. I've only got one transportation to get back home. That's my mother's car. She's not going to leave just yet. I have to stay on property until she's gone. But he doesn't want me inside the building. She had to plead with him that she needs help, and she hired me and said she'll be directly responsible. That made her accountable, and that put me on the spot and her on the spot. So I had to learn how to do the back office business. And if I'm going to be farmed out into the shop to do stock work, then I got to learn the stock as well. But I got to learn the business behind the scenes, paperwork and stuff. I had my mother to back me up, and in that time, going home, the conversation we had in the car calling back home on this one. Yeah. There are a lot of factors that I hadn't said anything about this one. And I'd rather not. But suffice it to say, I would have gone crazy had it not been my mother there, and I would have been tossed on my ear. They would have had a few employees to do it. It wouldn't been on the camera, and it wouldn't been on social media because we didn't have it during those days. But I know what it's like to be terminated a couple of times, especially when my own self had I had put myself into that situation. I already had the attitude already. Like, I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what the hell I'm doing. And I had to watch myself on this one. Losing part-time jobs here and there. It starts adding up a little bit. It's one thing when they fire you for not having that kind of an attitude, but a different situation altogether. Things happen. Try to explain it to them, and then they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Out. Get your paycheck within 72 hours, according to law. Okay, fine. Worked at the company for Circuit City about a couple of years later. Right after I get screwed up in college, had to go out looking for full time. About 3 months of stock work, keep my nose clean. The register's screwed up. Get out and I know how to do ice cream, by the way. Sweep the ice cream in there. So I had no issues with that. I had an attitude, a better, positive attitude. The one of an operation manager from a different Circuit City store would like. She wanted me to be hired. So I have to go through the damn paperwork and process the interview, and then I get hired. So I start learning the ropes more and more. Learn to keep my cool. Learn to keep my cool. Study everything I can about the place. But I'm a cashier. But if I want to move into sales, selling stuff, that's where they earn the commissions, a little bit more money. But I'm hourly. I need the hourly paycheck. I'm not a salesperson. I can't project that shit to people. But I can project a winning attitude and a smile and customer service because that's what my job is. Here comes Christmas. First or second Christmas, I think one of those two. We actually had new hires coming in, temps. And one of them was trying to think like he knew the business. And he's going to tell the cashiers what the hell's going on. Especially during a time when we actually had customers trying to get all these small electronic items and we had them piling up in different areas. So it's a hell of a challenge trying to get to one place to another place. And it could be the layout was crazy enough anyway in the store. Center area of the store facing, let's see, television sections here, then major appliances over here. But we had the hub of registers. Had about 4 or 5 of them. Number one is usually for exchanges and refunds. I specialized in it. But we also ranked things up left and right. We had lines reaching around for people waiting to buy. They made their selections. They got tickets. They're going to get their merchandise. Their merchandise is waiting over there. This one guy wants to act like he's full an idiot in front of customers. And I'm trying to get past this guy, and he wants to be a total asshole about things. But I'm stumbling because he's making me stumble at this point over here. Pick up the merchandise, go over to the customer, apologize profusely. The guy still wants to be an asshole about things. He gets fired that night. You don't screw around in customer service because you have to make the customer right. Despite the law that we actually had in the state of California over here, the customers are not exactly always right. But in retail hell, if you want to keep your business, the customer is always right. But the stores do have the legal right to throw you out for any reason. We want their business. We'll have to suck it up like crazy. So, being in a few situations where I've gotten involved with customers, including if they wanted to be pissy about it, you really had to handle it a little with kid gloves, but then you have to watch out. Because you happen to start screwing up in front of people left and right, I mean, you really lose your cool. You're going to be losing that job that night, or it's going to happen. And there will be people watching. In customer service, you're not alone all the time. You've got cameras. You've got eyes. You got people around you that you don't even realize that are paying attention to each other. We want the store, we want the business, we want the franchise, we want it working. We want the business, we want to keep going, we want it good customer satisfaction, good customer relations. We want the customers to come back and have repeat business all the time. And if we keep that up, the business prospers, and the employees prosper. But if you got a bad attitude, if you got a history, dude, say goodbye to it. So, bringing us back to the video that you showed, there's backstory on this lady here. I saw the video, different renditions of it. Yeah, in this day and age, we got cell phones that contain our personal information. We're so dependent on these damn technology things, it's not even funny. But this is how we are these days. And in different companies, they don't want the cell phone on the sales floor. They don't want them in the employee's pocket. They got to have them in security areas because they don't want the damn private act happening on the phone on their time in front of customers. It's not kosher, and you know about that one. So we got a young lady who's got captured in something that they didn't add more context to because they didn't have the context because they clicked on where the action happened, but not prior. What happened built up to that? What happened in that day? What happened earlier in that morning? Was she a morning person? Was she an evening person? What time of day was this happening? I didn't catch that. If this was early in the morning, then she's already coming in with an attitude, or else she's already developing an attitude well before the video started. She must have had some issues with management or issues with supervisors. Something happened. Something happened to add up to the momentum that we're seeing exploding on the video. It's like trying to catch a volcano and catching it in mid-course without seeing the damn buildup. There was a volcano ready to blow, and we saw it blowing on camera. So what was going on with her, and what was going on with the management, what was going on with the employees? They said arguments over shots. What about prior to that? See, there's always more to the story. There's always something leading up to it. They can only show you the explosive nature to catch people's attention, like you and me. We're talking about it. But I know from experience there's always something more deeper than that. And knowing geology, science, there's always pressure constantly building, fluctuating. Weakest point in the Earth's crust. So, did she have it? Did management have it? Did they both have it? What was the history on these guys? We won't know about it because that we just only captured a small thing, and the major portion of it is not there. We don't know what happened behind the scenes as much. Only from what the customers have said and maybe the employees, but if they're willing to tell more about the story, what the hell happened, now I'd like to hear. Because it's probably the same damn story I'm hearing, because I lived it. If you already had the attitude in there, then they already got you marked. If you're trying to play ball with them all the time, and you're really trying to struggle like crazy, something had to snap. My last job, Walmart. I worked in the automotive department, and me and automotive mechanics are like this. But regarding customer service at the counter, that's my job. But there are managers out there. Did I say about the story? Behind the story? There's managers out there that actually have an attitude. Despite the fact, in my own perspective, not theirs, but mine, there are friction. There are times when friction happens. Their will versus yours, and they don't forget. There are situations that happen that employees will get caught on, and the managers will step back, and they want a verifiable, terminable. They want a cause. They want a just cause to get rid of you. I can be the best I can be, may not win all the damn customer service awards. But customer service to me was always priority. And when we're dealing with a customer service situation at the counter, and we got customers complaining about the wait time. Here's the thing on my side, and I got chewed out for it. I kept thinking I wasn't supposed to chew down on this one. It was their fault. But I jumped in. That's the thing. I jumped into the fray. And the managers were just content to watch the whole damn shit. I had his own manager. I had my shop manager. And I had my floor manager in my department. Didn't do a damn shit. They're seeing a customer service action happening at this point where uh, not at Circuit City, but at Walmart in the automotive department where I worked in, we had long lines for oil services, very short lines for tire sales. In order for us to get our hours increased so we can get overtime if we need to, if any, we need those tire sales. They have to be the priority focus. Oil services, 20 minutes, no problem. But tire sales take about half an hour to an hour. We're not just talking about selecting the tires, we're talking about also installing the damn things. So, if you're getting your tires installed, all four, that's money coming into the company's pocket, but that's also money coming into my pocket if I'm working behind the counter, because it gives me more hours to work with, even if I'm full time. But if I actually pissed off a manager or two in that area or somewhere else, They know. They wait. They wait. They talk. They'll talk. Managers are not your friends, not the enemies. They're the company. The customers is what we depend upon. But behind the scenes, oof. So this one situation happened where we had long line of oil services and very short on tire sales. And people in oil services are getting pissed off. Those who hadn't been processed through or given their orders yet, they're going to leave. They'll find another place to go. But the ones that have already got the order in and they're waiting for their service and they're about one or two cars ahead, I mean, just about to get to the shop, they're pissed. They come in inside and they yell. I'm coming off of a break during this time. And I see my coworker getting yelled at. I also see in the corner of my eye my three managers doing nothing but watching. But they also have name tags that says managers. And I'm surprised they're not doing a damn thing. The customers are not noticing this shit. Now, I have a flaw in me. I got a flaw in me in this one here, Daryl. Previous job I had was a customer service job from hell, about 7 years. 7 years in the job. I had to be one call resolution. The call comes in, I have to find ways to solving the problem. I'm on audit. Half the time anyway. The rest of the time I'm not. And I have to do all my research, fast, efficient, and get the call out of there. But solve their problem. Front counter is not exactly that simple. I've had years before I had the call service of working behind the counters, working with customers one-on-one. I thought I knew better, but each situation is different. So here we are. I get in there. I'm going to help solve this damn shit. I'm going to try assuring these guys. Then I get into the yelling match. I sabotaged myself in that situation there, dude. I should have stepped out of it. I should have just stayed on the floor and just did some cleanup. But I thought they needed help at the register. Said I yelled at a customer in front of management, and they were waiting for it. And after the situation barely solves itself, the guy leaves away pissed off as hell. He's still in the line, but I guess he was going to be pulling out of there anyway. I get pulled in by the manager I really hated the most. I never had problems with this manager prior to that. Yes, there are managers you don't like, and other managers you can tolerate, and other managers that will actually work with you, but they're still working for the company. Et tu, Brutus? Caesar. Shakespeare. So I get yelled at, and I yell back at her. And they got chewed out again. Because I had a gall to chew her out. But that was a black mark right there. That was just one more little tipple. One more little thing. And then, boom! I had that. They were waiting for it. One thing happened on our transaction, and then I'm gone. I damn near get killed in a damn job working over at Walmart, but I'm still disabled, but it doesn't matter. Disabled on their damn dime. I tried to sue these guys, but it didn't work out. But I already had the attitude like this lady had already. But the thing is, I knew that the momentum and the pressure had already built up already. I knew that there was going to be one thing that was going to tip these guys off. I didn't know what it was until it happened. And then, so looking at the tape, I'm trying to see what had happened. What was the buildup on this situation? There's always a damn story on these things. But you're not going to get all that much detail just from the initial actions on the damn thing unless there's going to be more of a follow-up. The media that we see on social media wants the instant action and instant reaction on the damn thing. Something happened, and then we got to get a little bit of a reaction to what the hell is going on, and then we move on. But if it's a long-going, ongoing situation, that's a different story altogether. If the news guys are going to be following through on this, if it was actually more of a legitimate concern, no problem. But this is just an isolated situation we're doing a knee-jerk reaction on. But watching this video, there may have been more to it than what was reported. Keep that in mind. When you're watching these stories, there's always something behind the scenes on it. There's something more that the camera can pick up. Camera will pick up in an instant what the situation is, but it won't give enough context on it. Not enough perspective. What did I keep trying to tell you a long time ago? When you're looking at an object, we're only doing our own viewpoints because that's the only thing we're seeing at this point. But the object itself has many viewpoints around her, and even backstories that we don't even know about. I fancied myself as a rider a long time ago. I needed the mechanics, and I haven't got the complete mechanics down yet to do publishing. But I know when you're creating a story, there's always backstories to the characters. If you're writing a novel series, there's always room to add more depth to backstories, to character analysis, to characters' history that makes the series more enchanting, more engaging, more of it sucks you in. There's always more to what you're reading. There's always in between the lines. And what we're seeing is in between the lines. It's not enough of the in between the lines. We're only seeing just the black and white, and that's it. See, when I was watching that video there, dude, I had to see what the hell we were seeing. It doesn't matter how many times I'll see the damn instant replay. That's it. But there was more to it. More to it. That'd be almost the same story I come across. So, it's a hell of a thing for me to react to, I'll tell you. This early in the morning. It's 31. My body should be telling me I should be going back to bed over this crap. But I'll be doing a follow-up on this one. So, part 2 coming up, dude.